Hi, I'm Anna Richardson, and I'm just here to give you a preview of the upcoming course that we're running using therapeutic listening, which is really about practical applications for students with complex needs, particularly children with severe autistic spectrum disorder. And really, we thought we would give you this sneak preview to see how we're going to be presenting therapeutic listening as a part of a bigger picture of managing sort of regulation and well-being needs with children with these sort of highly complex needs. So what I thought I'd do is give you a sneak preview of one of the cases that we're going to be presenting in the course. So this is a case study of a boy called Tim. He's a 12-year-old boy who has autistic spectrum disorder, attention deficit disorder, and severe learning difficulties. And Tim has highly complex needs, and he goes to a school where I work, where we really look at embedding well-being and regulation into the curriculum. And when we started looking at how we were going to do that, we really were looking at all of the tools and the strategies that we could use to manage challenging behaviour in this population. And we were really thinking about how can we evidence we are changing the well-being and the regulation needs of this population. And so we started to look at recording data in relation to what we were offering in terms of our assessment and our therapeutic interventions. So we're going to discuss that in detail on this course, and I think Tim is a good way of showing you some of this information in a short snippet. So Tim is a boy who's predominantly non-verbal, although he can use some words to communicate when he's well regulated. He is a boy who does not really initiate any interaction with communication system, and he generally uses behaviour to communicate his wants and needs. He is a PECS user, but he really only uses that when he's in a regulated state. And when I started working with him, that was really a state that he wasn't in much of the time. From assessment, Tim had a range of quite significant and complex communication, sensory and sort of emotional difficulties that really affected his behaviour and participation at home and at school. And this was so significant that his parents were feeling that they couldn't manage his needs at home, and in school he really wasn't accessing the curriculum at all, and his behaviours really were quite challenging. So Tim is a boy where, as part of his regulation programme, we introduce a range of music selections. So just in this snippet, we're going to talk about his use of gear shifters and quick shifts in his regulation programme. So I'm going to give you a little preview of Tim, and you're going to see three videos. The first video is a time when it's in his lunchtime and he's in class on a choose break watching the computer screen, and just before the video comes on he has communicated that he is not feeling okay, that he is in what we call the yellow zone because we use an adapted version of the zones of regulation, and he has chosen to leave the class and go and use his gear shifter to regulate. So this is quite a way down the process of moving from a boy who is not well regulated to a boy who is learning to self-regulate through the use of quick shifts and feeling that regulated state and feeling okay. So in the first video, you're going to see him in that distressed state, and he's leaving the classroom to go to our sensory room, which is a quiet space where he goes to listen to his gear shifter over the speakers. We had to cut the video because there were other students in the corridor. And so then the video, the second video you're going to see is about 5 minutes into listening to a Mozart gear shifter, and you can see how regulated he has become, how calm he has become. And then the third video that you're going to see is going to be on a different occasion, where he is selecting that he's not feeling okay using his visual strips and choosing which quick shift he wants to use to support his self-regulation. And what you will see in particularly the first and the second video is the difference in his body posture, in using strategies such as flexion and being in a really calm, quiet place, which is something that Tim wasn't used to feeling before he started using regulation strategies. So I want you to have a look at the videos, and hopefully you will see quite clearly some of those things that I've talked about.